Welcome everybody to another episode of Wandering Star with me, Franko Carino. Right now I'm hanging out at one of my favorite new places in Jacksonville called Fast Eddy's Quick Mideast. This place is insane. All the food is so good. They have some of the best falafel I've ever had. The shawarma is insane. Let's go inside and talk to my buddy Ryed about his food.
What we serve here at Fast Eddy's is a fast casual, Middle Eastern and American rock and roll joint. This is a reflection of my brother Wiam and I. We grew up enjoying some delicious Chaldean-inspired Iraqi dishes, of course, at home, and then with all of our friends in rural Kentucky. We enjoyed some delicious American dishes as well. So you're going to find some of those scattered throughout the menu. We try to have a little bit of something for everybody. But the heart of the menu is going to be some rich, exotic Middle Eastern dishes.
Oh yeah, best falafel in Jacksonville, hands down.
I appreciate that. I'll tell you a little bit about the falafel. The falafel is so delicious because growing up, it was not actually one of the dishes that we ate. It wasn't until later in my 20s when my parents took me to Iraq to visit some relatives that a cousin took me around Baghdad, and I had my first falafel sandwich. And I came back and I was talking about falafel this and falafel that. My sister was like, God awful falafel. But she was a great cook, and she took it upon herself to come up with the falafel recipe, which she did all the way down to the spice itself. And we believe it's one of the best falafels you'll ever have. So, we're not here to compete with anybody. We're not here to disrespect anybody. Everybody has their own way of doing things. But I think she nailed it, and I know she's looking down and is proud of that recipe.
That's awesome. How do you feel about Jacksonville's become such a big international, or has had a big international food scene that's been growing? Like, how do you feel about that coming around? Like, you guys been open for 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Well, we're thrilled to be a part of it, and I love international style foods. Anything from Asian to island to Hispanic to Greek, even Eastern European stuff. Any opportunity I can get to enjoy those types of foods. I will say though, in the past 6 months, I've been a little bit busy,
and
I have not had much time to get out. But it's a labor of love. The funny story about Fast Eddy's is that there would be no Fast Eddy's without COVID. I had lost my job because of COVID. My brother was kind of between jobs, and we were kind of at the same time looking for employment. We were not having much luck despite our experience, despite our, we've both been at the restaurant game for years. Also, I've been in retail banking for several years. But due to the circumstance, due to COVID, the location was available. That probably encouraged the landlord to get this place signed off to a couple of guys who had never done a restaurant before. But we had an idea. We liked the location. We partnered up with Jason Farman from Beehive Collective, who did our logo. Absolutely nailed it. We're thrilled with our logo. It represents all of the elements that I had brought to him as far as the idea and inspiration behind it. Everything kind of came together, very serendipitous, despite a horrible pandemic that made my time available. It made some finances available. And of course, in this demographic, in this neighborhood here in the Deerwood area of Baymeadows, these folks, they have a great interest in new and exotic foods, And you know, when they walk in, it's always funny to see people's faces when they walk in, because we are decorated as though we're a bit of a record store / man cave.
Heavy metal hangout.
We'll get some of the older Middle Eastern folks will walk in. It'll get to about 3 steps and wonder if they're in the right place when they hear some of the louder, heavier music playing. Then they see the camel on the wall, and that kind of puts everybody at ease. And then they get to try some of the food, and that usually is what seals the deal. But people seem to be enjoying us. I would say in our first couple of weeks, and I would say week 1, 2, 3, and 4, 40% of our business came from a website called Nextdoor, which is basically like a little local messaging board where you know, Billy's complaining about Sue not mowing her yard, and by the way, there's a great new Mediterranean restaurant in town. So people are going to ask me if we're Mediterranean or we're Middle Eastern. I always say that we're Middle Eastern, even though we fall into the Mediterranean demographic. I think you know, we're Baghdad's in the heart of the desert, and it was hot on the spice trail. If you know your history, they were bringing the spices from the Far East over to the kings in Europe, and they would stop in Baghdad. So we got to experience and develop our own styles of food as a result, and it's trickled its way all the way down to the dinner table in rural Western Kentucky, and we brought it here to the First Coast, and we're thrilled.
That's awesome. This place is so good, and I hope everybody comes and checks this place out. This is one of the best food places in Jacksonville. And wander, man.